everybody, and welcome back to the Adventures in Collecting YouTube channel, where we take a closer look at the toys we talk about on the show. And today is a little bit different because we are taking the clock and we are turning it back. We are turning it back, in fact, to, let me see if I can find a date on here, because I think it was 2010. Yeah, so we're turning it back to 2010. This is a vintage purchase, something vintage. This is a figure, this set has a figure in it that I consider to be one of my white whales, holy grails, whatever way you want to say it. But today we are taking a look at the Target exclusive Kenner Star Wars Hasbro Vintage Collection action figure set, the Hero set, back from 2010. It was part of, got a flappy card, this was a Mercari mail call. Clearly I am not worried about the package because we will be opening it, but it was part of 3 sets that came out in 2010. We had the Rebel set, we had the Villain set, and we had the Hero set. And the reason why I got this, and I got it for 20 bucks shipped on Mercari, which again is worth it alone for this guy right here. So originally released in, I want to say it was the Saga collection, was Ben Kenobi. He came with the table and the hologram of Princess Leia, but he was re-released in this set along with a Han Solo and a Luke Skywalker in his X-Wing pilot, as far as I'm concerned. So I already have this Han Solo. Both of these were also repacks. I have this Han Solo from the original trilogy collection, which is a fantastic figure. I'm happy to have another one. We'll when we get him in the light box, we'll compare it with the other one and we'll see if there are any differences. And then I have the newer vintage collection, or I should say the newest, at the time of the recording of this video, the newest Luke Skywalker in X-Wing pilot gear. But as far as I'm concerned, having another X-Wing pilot, it's great for, background, right? It's great to have the extra helmet. It's great to have just kind of an X-Wing pilot for toy photography and for dioramas and everything. So the packaging is that classic packaging, very reminiscent of the multi-packs back from the Kenner days. We get the nice yellow card, we get the silver on the outside. We've seen this package now a couple years in a row coming out of San Diego Comic-Con, right? So, but we've seen it with the silver foil, so both the 501st 3-pack and the Dr. Aphra 3-pack and the Luke Skywalker 3-pack, so on and so forth. So we're used to seeing it. And like I said, on the back, we see the other 2 packs that were part of this series. Yeah, so we're gonna open this sucker up. Let's flip it around, let's get these guys in the light box, and let's take a look at some, we'll call these early vintage collection, right? Pre-vintage collection, vintage collection figures.
That's good. You've taken your first step into a larger world.
All right, so here we are taking a look at the Heroes set here. We're going to start off with Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is still, to this day, this set now being quite a few years old, is still, in my opinion, the best 3 3/4 inch highly articulated Obi-Wan Kenobi that you can get. Again, this is before photoreal and the 4D printing, but this is awesome. And yeah, I mean, the gray is a little cartoony. Like, it's not, it looks like he's got a cement hair and beard. It's not so much white as it's gray, but this still is the best, again, in my humble opinion, of the super articulated Obi-Wan Kenobi figures. You're going to see my favorite Obi-Wan Kenobi figure when we do our comparisons here. But, we do get the lightsaber. The lightsaber is nice. It has some really great paint and detail on it. The copper is there, the matte to shiny paints. You get the nice little flare up here on the, around the igniter, or the emitter, which is awesome. Nice little touch. And again, we've moved now past the detachable lightsaber pieces, which is awesome. Those always broke or never stayed together. The soft goods cloak is nice. It's nice and big. You can get the, Obi-Wan. There's no wire in the hood, so you do have to play with it a little bit, but you could very easily get the Obi-Wan coming to save Luke look there, it covering his head, all of that good stuff. And the soft goods cloak robe comes off here and reveals underneath. He does have more soft goods. These do not come off, but kind of an under robe here. And this is, again, pre-Vintage Collection. So this is before the Vintage Collection figures were really getting the super, super articulated, you know, the ball joint legs. You know, so he just has the standard back and forth legs, but he does have the ball joint and the swivel at the knee there, which is nice. And then, of course, you know, the articulation throughout the arms is the same as what we're used to at this point with the Vintage Collection. So we have the nice ball joint there. We have a second ball joint at the elbow. And, you know, nice amount of movement from those single joints. You get the two hands that you'd kind of need with Obi-Wan. You know, so he has the kind of the two-finger point and gesture there, and then, you know, the open hand. And, of course, his hands do with the elbows and the added articulation. They absolutely, you know, come to meet each other. So you can very easily have him wield the lightsaber with two hands, which is kind of necessary, especially if you are doing any kind of toy photography with having him duke it out with Vader. You know, you can also have him do, if you want to do some Rebels action, right, you can have him, you know, pretty easily taunting Darth Maul in the desert there. So good stuff on Obi-Wan. So this is my favorite Obi-Wan figure. This is the Force Link Obi-Wan figure. The head sculpt is awesome on this. The OG, the original Power of the Force, 1990s Obi-Wan. There he is next to beefy Obi-Wan. Still an awesome figure all these years later, even though he doesn't really stand all that well. Kind of need his robes to help him there, but you could see the difference, you know, how far we've come over the years. So let's grab these out and let's move on to Han Solo, because Han Solo is kind of very straightforward here. So here is your Han Solo from the pack. It is a great figure. This is a repack, repaint, much like you know, like Obi-Wan is. However, this is actually a downgrade from the repaint. So the repaint I actually have right here, and you can see, I don't know how well it's coming across on camera here, but the repaint is much shinier than the original one. They used a much shinier paint in the flesh tones, but you know, this is that original trilogy collection Han Solo, the one that came in the plastic card protector, which is, you know, was an awesome little touch at the time. But you know, still a fantastic figure. The detail on it is great. You know, you got everything that you need for a New Hope Han Solo. So if you did not have the opportunity to get this one, and this is the only one that you can get, still a great figure. In terms of the articulation, again, we don't have the ball joints at the hips, but we do have the ball joints and swivels at the knees, the elbows, and the shoulders, like we're used to seeing. You know, the blaster fits really nicely into the holster. The belt does not go anywhere, so it's not coming off. It is sculpted onto him, even though it does seem like it might be a separate piece. It is actually attached here at the back. But yeah, and again, for pre-4D face sculpts, this is a great figure. Looks like Harrison, and you know, still, again, to this day, this whether it is this one or the one that came single carded, this is the best A New Hope Han Solo, in my opinion, in this scale. And here's just a quick look of him next to the modern, or the with the new face. This is the Empire Strikes Back Vintage Collection Han Solo that just came out recently. And as you can see, the face has improved drastically over the years. But let's do, of course, you know, like we did with Obi-Wan. Let's see. This one might actually fit. Yeah, the head does fit on, but it looks funny. It sits too high on the neck, and it's actually a little bit too big. So that's going to be a no on that head swap as well. And then last but not least, we're going to take a look at Luke Skywalker. So this figure is really cool because not only is it, you know, Luke in the the X-Wing, or the fighter gear, it comes with a lot of stuff too. So we get a helmet, which is really nice. At the time, this was a fantastic Mark Hamill face sculpt. In a second, you're going to see what I think is one of the best Mark Hamill head sculpts, but in the improved figure that recently came out. But overall, it's awesome. I mean, you get a lightsaber that attaches at the waist. Looking at it, actually, that's funny. I didn't notice that until just now. So it does peg on. Like these figures were shipped with the little plastic bands so that it doesn't move, but this is the wrong lightsaber. He actually, he comes with Darth Vader's lightsaber for some reason. You can tell by the black cover around the emitter and the black igniter switch. But yeah, that's interesting. So he actually comes with Darth Vader's lightsaber, not ignited. So that's a fun little touch. I guess he's robbed Vader of his weapon, right? But if you have another Luke non-ignited lightsaber, it will peg right in there into his belt. But again, great detail. You get the straps, you get all the little doodads and bells and whistles that are sculpted into his costume. And then of course you do have the helmet. The helmet will fit nicely on his head. All good things about this figure, especially given how old it is. And then of course you do get the blaster. Nowhere to put the blaster on Luke, but he's got it. And like I said, just to kind of show you how far we've come in terms of Luke in this outfit. Here is our 1995-96, my original Kenner Power or the Force. I say original. For me, the 90s ones are the original ones. But there's your Kenner Power or the Force, your buff Luke, if you will. And then, as I mentioned, things have come a long way. Here is your modern Luke in this outfit. And you could see the head sculpt is just divine. I mean, this is one of the best ones they've done of Luke. The oranges are nice. They've lost kind of the sheen of this, and they have more of a flat tone to them. The detail on the straps and on the chest piece, and the ribbing on the back, and kind of the scale of the whole thing. It is a much better figure. Gone is the ability to dock your lightsaber into there, but it is. It is a much improved figure. Now the good thing, again, like I mentioned, purists will say that not every fighter pilot has Luke's helmet. Luke's helmet is unique, but at the end of the day, if you have a diorama of some kind and you just need a downed rebel pilot of some kind, he passes off very well. It's just a downed rebel pilot with the helmet on. So you have your nice little trifecta there of rebel troopers. So with that, let's flip it back around and let's wrap this little retro vintage review up. All right, so 3 figures, all 3 of them are fun. This, of course, is the reason for the season. This is this was the purpose of getting this set, and I'm super happy with it. I mean, even after all these years, that sculpt and deco there of Obi-Wan looks great, of old Ben, Sir Alec Guinness. This is a fantastic figure. I'm super happy that I finally have it. It's, to me, it's just an iconic piece of pre-vintage collection 3 3/4 inch figure. The stuff that legends are made of, if you will. Again, he's probably due for an upgrade. He's probably due for a face print, a redeco. I could totally see them reusing the majority of this figure, for a future release. But all 3 of them are great. They're great figures. They were really, at the time, we didn't know it, but they were a sign of things to come. But yeah, super happy. Finally got the Ben that I have been looking for. This is the Ben you're looking for. So if you could find this set, open, new in box, otherwise this is a great one to have. I'm excited to take some additional pictures here with Ben. So as always, make sure you hit that subscribe button down there so that way you don't miss videos like this of us taking deeper dives into toys, and hit that bell icon while you're down there too. That way you get a notification when we do so. It's the best thing that you could do to help this channel. You know, we don't charge anything. We do all of this for the big old price of free, as our friend Jay Hernandez says. So hitting that like and commenting and doing all that fun stuff down there really helps us out. While you're subscribing to things, make sure that you're following us here at AIC_podcast on Instagram and Twitter, where we're constantly posting toy news, toy photography, all the fun things that are going on in the toy community. And then make sure you're listening to us here on the podcast, the Adventures in Collecting podcast. You can find us where all podcasts are found. Simply search for Adventures in Collecting, or hit that link in the description below, which will take you to our website, and all of the fun things that I just talked about will be there. As always, stick around after the fade for some additional photos, and until next time.